And two,
because it isn't that big, so it's not big enough for 2 nights of podcasting.
no, not
Good enough for me,
not
trust me.
according to Peppa. I'm gonna fall short on part one because Peppa didn't feel like wanting to do back to back pods, so
No,
my
we
memory's
can
a little
squeeze it into
short.
one. I got you.
So
My
we're gonna
memory is
see what my
great.
notes keep reminding me of. But your boy, disrespectful in the house with your boy White Peppa over to my left, according to the video.
And that's why I'm on the left today.
You're on my. I'm pretty sure you're on my left every time. I never
2 out
remember
of
what it
3.
is.
One of them, you're on the complete opposite side.
Hey, well, I can switch it too, so we flip it.
Yeah. After I uploaded the video the other night, it was like I saw like we're on
Yeah.
2 of the videos. We're on the same thing, and then on the one's like,
So
nah, just kidding.
because I took myself off of it and put you up, it made you the prime person. So then it put me to the secondary person.
As it should be.
No, not at all. So let's get into some WrestleMania recap. So we're not going to go over the pre-match stuff because
No,
there's
they
some
don't count.
pre-match stuff.
Just get out. Get.
But the first match in night one, which by the way, I'm going to put this out there before we get into this. Sorry, my throat's closing, so it's a little harder to.
He got WrestleMania virus.
This was definitely one of the better WrestleManias I've seen in many, many years.
It was fun
That's
to
just my opinion.
watch.
It definitely was. It was 3 hours of fun to then go back to 3.5 hours of fun again. It wasn't 7 hours of the same. It was that. That's usually when it's bad. I said I'm really enjoying the no fans thing. I really am.
It's because obviously it's not the
They don't
situation
buzzkill
you want to be a
matches.
part of, but yes, exactly. Like you're saying, like you didn't hear them like there's some matches like I guess you don't even pay attention to it a lot of times because it's always been so normal to have fans and stuff like that. But like you're actually seeing like you just watch the match for what it is now without like having like is the fan booing this segment or is the fan booing this match. You're just kind of
Exactly.
letting the match play out and like you can form more of a polished opinion. I noticed today on our on like tweeting and stuff like that like wrestling Twitter was like less negative than they usually are on WWE
Again,
because
because
I
you're not
think it
hearing
was
all that
like
negative stuff from the fans.
right because I think you got a lot less of you had a lot less of the people who were like well they booed somehow like they had to make their own opinion for once because the
Exactly, and
opinion wasn't made in
people don't
stadium.
know how to make their own opinion. That's the problem.
No, there was a lot of stupid things. People did not like the Firefly Funhouse at all. Some people didn't like that. They thought the Bone House or the Boneyard was stupid.
We will get into all this stuff, but the first match we're going to get into, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is the women's tag team titles. First match on the card.
Oh yeah,
and we're talking about Miss Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against the Kabuki Warriors. Miss Kairi Sane and Asuka.
They're no more.
So you saying they're no more?
Yeah.
Why is that?
No I think that getting the titles off of them was basically the way because Asuka keeps fighting singles matches, and I think Kairi Sane's contract is up soon, to be honest, and I think she doesn't want to be here. Like I think she actually does not want to be in the WWE because she was really good in Japan. I think she hasn't really found her stride in WWE the way that like after she got out of NXT she was just like
so
she can go back to New Japan and be great.
Let me hit on that because I agree with you, but here's the problem. Sorry about the knuckle cracking and all that stuff, guys. WWE, and they've done this multiple times, and Peppa can attest, they can't bring anybody from NXT because they are horrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it right, whether it's Vince doing it, it doesn't matter. You just don't bring them up from NXT the proper way. Like, we're finally seeing Aleister Black get a push.
Yeah.
But it's still
weird.
Odd. But, we'll get into that with what's going on. I actually like this as a first match, honestly. I didn't think it was as bad as probably fans would have been when they were in the crowd.
No.
But he already made a point of that when I mentioned what it was. But I like Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss together. I mean, they make a great team.
Yeah, and they had the tag title before, right?
That's what the Kabuki Warriors beat before them.
But like the thing is, you needed them to take the titles because the tag title started becoming like a forgotten thing, and I think a lot of it is the language barrier. Like, having your tag champs not being able to physically like do promos, and
That's
then when
false.
Paige disappeared, no, Asuka's very
That's
good,
false.
but no,
Asuka can speak, and so can
speak
Kairi
what though?
Sane.
Sky.
But they're purposely speaking their native tongue on purpose just to piss people off. That's literally the only gimmick because Asuka can speak English. Not that it's like superb, but she can speak English. I've watched her on her own YouTube channel. I've watched her on Up Up Down Down. So she can speak English. It's just far between, and I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, Kairi Sane can too.
But they
But
weren't letting them, and like if that's
yeah,
the case, but like, so I think the whole issue is there. Like, that with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they let Alexa take as much time on the mic as she wants. They gave her that the moment
moment
of
of bliss.
bliss, and then like Nikki Cross been on it. Like they're more of a fun act to deal with. So I think that you're going to be able to you can push those titles a little harder with them. And I don't know who the heck they're going to have again. They're going to have them, who the next tag team will
Well,
be.
they need to be able to build that up, and that's the problem. They haven't done that yet.
But
So I'm
there's no
kind of
other
hoping that's what
female
we're going to
tag team
see.
out there, is there? Who else would it be?
Italian Beth Phoenix when she comes out of retirement again.
Oh God, no! What?
Um,
But like
look at
maybe is like Rhea Ripley have anybody she want to be friends with?
I don't know about Rhea Ripley, but Jessime Duke and
Oh yeah, they could do that.
well, I can't remember her other teammate's name.
Fartface McGee.
But those two aren't doing anything. So you had that. I mean, they broke up the Riot Squad, but you can always throw some things together with Liv and whoever.
Yeah.
They still have some possibilities if they build it the proper way. Like look at it, Natalia's not going for a title shot right now.
No, I hope
Lacey
not.
Evans, we'll talk about that later. So they have all these different Tamina. So they have all these people here that they can utilize more.
Right.
I think this is the right move. I think my problem with this whole thing is, wait, do you remember who took the pin? See, this is why we do on the same night. I remember who took the pin.
Yeah, I got the whole
Kairi
thing up
Sane?
here. Someone did the cross-performed the purge on Kairi Sane, followed
Same.
by a twisted bliss
On
to
Sane.
become the
To
champion.
win.
So it
So my
was
problem with this
Kairi.
was it earlier this week? Asuka lost to Bliss in like a snap, and Asuka's supposed to be this oh my god like singles competitor, and it was a singles match, and Asuka. They basically squashed Asuka like they did when she won the title last year. And that's my problem. They're not handling Asuka well either with this whole feud. If they let Asuka win the match against Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss gets her revenge on Sane, then you had a better way about outing this. That's my only issue with the whole thing of how they've handled the Asuka situation and how things were handled early in the week to lead up to this tag team championship.
Right. But yeah,
So
that's I don't know. I guess that's good. It was first match. You have a title change. That's always that's fun. So
I'm trying
that
to remember
was
how many title changes there were. There's at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head.
and
I
Gronk.
think that's
So
it.
4.
Well, 5 technically because Gronk
2.
lost it.
Both titles.
First, R-Truth lost it.
Wait, Gronk
on
lost
night
it?
1. No, R-Truth lost it night 1. Excuse me. R-Truth lost it
Mojo
night
lost
1
on night 2.
to Mojo.
Yeah,
And then
so
Mojo
2.
lost night 2.
Both main
to
titles. 3, 4, and then this
tag
one 5.
titles.
So 5.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. But we'll get into a couple of those. Then you had Sami
was a crap
Zayn
match.
Sami Zayn did a quick
Apparently,
promo.
there was a match before that. We had the
No.
Elias Corbin.
No, the Sami Zayn did the promo first.
Oh, yeah.
Then Elias versus Corbin.
Which was a match. I'm not even gonna lie. I made nachos because I don't care about either of these two. It was a stupid
this match wasn't built up. So it wasn't built up properly. So there was no need for this match. You could have just taken a match from part 2, put it into part 1, and they would have both been about 3 hours long. So let's start there. Number 1. Number 2.
Who's the heel? Who's not the heel?
Well, Elias hasn't been a heel in a while, but you have Corbin, who was doing these horrific. I'm trying to remember what I can think of right now. Matches about dog food a couple months ago. Who couldn't beat Roman Reigns? Who beat Roman Reigns, and then he couldn't beat Roman Reigns. To then this, and he loses like within.
It's like they had to give him a match on. It's like they had to give him a match on WrestleMania because he ran with Roman for that long. So I guess it was like, oh, we can't just leave you out of WrestleMania after you're running the SmackDown main events for multiple weeks
Oh
or
no, you
multiple
can
months.
because
So
they
yeah, but
did
Vince
garbage
isn't
with
going to
him.
do that because Vince loves him. So they gave him the dumb match with Elias, where first of all I thought Elias was going to be replaced. I thought that was the point there because they had the whole thing where
He fell off
yeah,
the
he fell
thing.
off the
Yeah.
thing. That's the only thing I like about pre-produced stuff like that. Is like you can pull those moves off and like it's more believable. But like, so you would think like, okay, maybe they'll pull this, like they'll pull like a surprise because there were zero surprises in this WrestleMania. I'll give you that. Like no, as far as like appearances went, like
Well, yeah, there was
no
nothing.
one came out. Like I thought
But
when
I don't think
again night
anyone's going to
two,
come
but
out because of this whole thing.
no, but I mean I thought if someone really wanted to do it, they could. I mean enough people showed up to tape this thing, so. But yeah, so this match was pretty useless to all things.
Yep. So then you have the Becky Shayna match.
Oh boy. So I will
I'm
tell
gonna
you
point this out.
from minute
Pep,
one.
I'm gonna point this out. I saw the ratings on part 1 earlier today.
Yeah.
This got a 3.5 or 4.5 star rating, and I can't figure out why.
Really?
Well, sorry. I thought the match itself was pretty good. I think there's some spots that I think they dropped the ball on a little bit.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, I thought it was a great match, and then the ending is where I would just drop another star off because of that. That's what bothers me about the ending, about the match. That's really it.
Didn't make any sense. I don't understand why. First of all, like, why are you at WrestleMania? Why are we doing fluke pins? Like, why is it that Becky only won?
That's all they know how to do. That's the problem.
But like, it's WrestleMania. Like, make a definitive victory. Like, aha, I got her with this armor. I made the MMA girl tap out. Like,
So
I did that. That's what you should have done.
So
Or
Shayna
vice
Baszler
versa.
may have not won to be tapped out because I don't know what her record is unlike Ronda, but she's never. I don't know if Shayna's ever tapped out. I doubt it. Just like
I thought
Ronda's never
that,
tapped
or I
out.
thought maybe we would see a Ronda sighting, like
So
screw over Shayna.
either one of those were a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
The other possibility I was thinking is if you looked at it, I don't think she got a disarm on her at all, whereas Shayna got a bunch of submission moves on her.
Yeah, but like I don't know if they're. I guess they're planning on if there be a longer feud, but like it's. I
They
don't
didn't
care
take the
for it to
title
be.
off of Becky. I like Becky and all, but they didn't take the title off her, and I thought it was a big mistake. You have Shayna being this. Ooh, the next Brock Lesnar. They built that up when they were in Philly right before they canceled all shows.
And
The Elimination
she
Chamber,
beat the
and she
entire.
destroyed everybody.
So that meant
Everybody.
like
She's the
okay,
next. She's
she's
the
gonna
woman's
run through
Brock
her.
Lesnar. She's the only
Right.
woman. She's the only person in WWE to ever run through the Elimination Chamber and eliminate everybody. And
Like,
then you have her lose like this. I thought it was pathetic the way they handled this. And listen, Triple H did a great job on majority of this show. Like this was one of two. There's two. There's another one on night 2 that bothered me too. This was night 1. Actually, it may have been 3. But this is the biggest bother I had about this was how they had the pin happen. Like,
yeah,
what
I
was
just
she
don't
holding down?
It didn't make a lot of sense to me. It just was like, because now your whole point is, okay, so Becky beat Shayna. Shayna's no longer the strongest thing on earth, right?
She's beating 2 MMA fighters.
So now what happens is Becky go on to something else. What else? She's beaten everybody. So that's why everything's so boring with her. Is like she's run every program with every good female that there's nothing left. So you should have had her drop the title, and now you can get her out of the limelight for a little bit because you've seen Becky every week since WrestleMania last year, or like since that whole push like last year.
They've cut her since the
2
Royal
years we've
Rumble though.
seen her.
But like after the Royal Rumble, we really didn't see her that much. Like she kind of fell off.
No, but she's been the champion since WrestleMania last
Yeah,
year.
no, I agree. She's
Like,
been
let her
the champion
go.
for a year, and I get that. But like you said, you build the Ronda Shayna thing. Again,
It just
I'm
was not
gonna say
necessary.
maybe Ronda didn't want to show up. Maybe she's concerned. She has kids. You know this whole thing going
She
on.
ain't got kids.
She has 2 kids. She has 2 sons.
Since when?
She's had them.
She does. That's right. She was just trying to have more kids. That's right. All right. Well, good for her.
So
whatever.
So there's that. But that was the biggest problem with this was the ending.
That was a bad match for night 1. I didn't care. I liked the match. Didn't care for the ending. I think where our ratings went up a bit was after I liked Sammy and Daniel Bryan, which is next. I have a match that I think.
So that was this one. This one I think dropped down in ratings. This was a pretty poorly thought out match. I thought it was pretty well done. I'm kind of shocked they had Sammy win. because Daniel Bryan is such a powerhouse. He's he's held the WWE title. He has a bunch of submission moves, a bunch of counters. I mean, I'm fine with it because I'd like Sammy to at least, show he has some grip by being able to retain a title, and I like that part of it.
But I think it's more. I think it's because with Brie being pregnant again. I think Daniel isn't going to be hanging around much longer.
I forgot he doesn't want to do it much longer.
And he's not going to be doing full-time stuff. I think he's going to have like Gulak doing a lot of his stuff and all, like where he can show up some weeks and not. Where like Sammy, you got to give him a run. This is his first title. Like just let him have a run with it. He's going to be there every week. He's going to perform.
We've seen other people win their first titles and then disappear like that. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
Let's give it to Sammy. So.
I agree.
Mid-air haluva kick for the win. It was a pretty cool way.
I like the surprise win there. That was definitely a great surprise win because again I forgot about the whole. I forgot he was taking time off. We talked about it too in our last episode.
So it's not gonna be worth it. This match that was after this was I thought was one of the coolest matches of the
night. This is awesome. I enjoyed every second of this match.
Ladder match for the tag team titles because
with only one partner
got sick. Which is kind of cool because I really don't want to see what's his name in a ladder match. Like Big E is not as like movie. He can't like move a lot in. Like this was a Kofi match. You needed Kofi for this kind of match.
I liked it. I liked it. You had Jimmy in there.
John Morrison. It was Kofi.
Kofi and Jimmy Uso.
It was Jimmy Uso, correct?
Yeah,
They're
Jimmy.
Twins, so they look the same, guys.
No, Jimmy's taller than Jay.
Loser.
I'm pretty sure. And he's not as gray either.
They do have like a little bit different haircuts.
I wasn't coming at either. Their hair's a little different too. Like I'm not trying to be like they're a little bit different. They're not like identical. They're crazy where you can't figure it out, but they are twins.
They're twins, bro.
This was a great match. I'm gonna point something out here. All right. The best part about this was Jimmy Uso, and there was a lot. Jimmy was just going at everybody, if you noticed, Pep, in this one.
Yeah, he didn't care.
The best part about this match that I enjoyed the most, he took Kofi's face and slammed it into the ladder that was laid up like this when the whole ladder was like this. Remember when they verticaled it?
Yeah.
And he goes, he said, I wrote this down personally, "You'll face like a pancake." I love that line. I enjoyed every second of that.
I'm so tired of him and his damn pancake.
And I went back and rewatched it over and over again because it was that subliminal line that like you said, like when you listen to like a rap song or something like that, there's always a lyric in there where like, oh, what is he literally cared the fact that the man throws pinks all the time and threw it into this match, and it was awesome. I enjoyed every second of it.
That's another thing I kind of thoroughly enjoyed with the empty crowd houses. The empty
hear them.
What they're saying, like they give a little extra to each thing they do now because you can hear them saying stuff. Even though, so tonight while we were watching, the girlfriend was on the phone with her mom, and so it was the Edge Orton match. So it was just a lot of grunting, just a lot of male.
I was going to talk about that when we got back to it.
But like she had to ask, goes, what are you guys watching? Because it was because you're not used to hearing just like weird grunting. It's just a lot of like
tired.
It sounded pornish, and it was not. It was weird.
It was just they're very winded.
So you're hearing a lot of sound. It sounds like a tennis match.
But I think it was done because they were purposely trying to. And we'll talk about that when we get to that match because I have some things to talk about in that match.
Yeah.
But this back to this ladder match. This was a great ladder match, and by the way, this is the best ending to a ladder match that I've seen.
Yeah, it was like funny, but also like creative. The one thing I did like, the one thing about this match that was kind of weird was JBL. So Morrison did like that he was standing on the post, like the ring post, and he did like that corkscrew onto Kofi.
Mm-hmm. That was disgusting corkscrew, by the way.
And somehow he said, "This reminds me of Mr. Perfect." When in God's name,
Mr. Perfect jumped and done a flip like that.
Do a corkscrew. Did he even do moonsaults?
I don't think so. I will say that JBL as a commentator, I was a huge fan of.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when he was. Like,
he was pretty.
They pushed him out because they said he was bullying Byron Saxton. So now
he wasn't as bad back then, but just I wasn't a fan. They could have found somebody else for this to do this.
But like you're right. So the end was kind of weird. Everybody was up there at the top of the ladders. Morrison fell down on top of a ladder, which was wedged between the rope and the second ladder. When he fell, he grasped the titles, unhooking them as he fell. Even though the other two had the I'll call it the coat hanger.
Yeah, the coat hanger. So the thing was, is when you rewatch it, he grabbed those right before he knocked them down. That was the first thing he had in his hand was the belts. He didn't unhook them. He just held onto them.
Right.
So when it pushed, the straps just undid.
And then they fell, and it was good, and it was hilarious because then them two were like yelling at each other.
Yeah, like, dude, like, I had it. What are you doing?
We both had it in our hands, and now he got it. So that was a real fun way.
I would have liked it. Excuse me. I liked it because of that. I thought it was great. It was original, and I'm pretty sure Triple H is the one who came with that. I would have also liked it if, because there's only one in each match, right, that Morrison fell and knocked him down, right? So they both go for it, and they kick each other off, and one has the title in each hand. So one wins, and the other one wins, so who's the champ?
That's what I thought at first. Like, when I seen it
that I was hoping for.
A struggle, I thought, are they going to, like, say two of those tag teams are going to both have a title in their hands when they fall? And, like, would you going to say, okay, now we have to, like, they'll have to have another match on Raw or SmackDown or whatever to determine.
Or do they become tag team partners?
Oh, like
they're tag champs now, technically.
But they must be, right? Because we
don't know I thought it'd been dope if they played that line out, but I still enjoy the ending. It's definitely the best ending to a ladder match we've seen in God only knows how long.
Oh, without doubt.
Listen, ladder matches are great, but it was a surprising that we've never really seen before that I can remember. I don't know about Pepper over there, but I don't remember one.
That kind of an ending. There's been some weird endings, but never like that. So yeah, that match was really good. I thought that one kind of put it, kind of made night one so far.
Your face like a pancake.
Because he throws pancakes.
I loved it. I love the subliminal line in there, and I thought it was great. But that comes from me being a hip hop head, so I can't really say much on there. Next, we have what I thought was a very, very solid match, and I'm happy the ending and how it came out.
The match got me nervous at first because when it was the simple DQ finish, where I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna have Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and
DQ,
and him just being like, meh, and walking out. And I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It proved that Seth is a little sissy, though. I enjoyed that part of it.
But I was like, okay, so literally this is how they're gonna end. I was like, guys, you could literally have an ending and then redo the match if you really hated it. Like, you guys watch that back and was like, good idea. And then once I saw him get on the mic and say, like, come back and it'll be no DQ.
I want the no DQ. And it got better. So from what I heard, okay, I didn't get to read the article today, but Kevin Owens had a spot planned at the arena where it was supposed to be that was going to be ridiculous and everyone was just going to go crazy for it.
Oh, so he was going to do something nuttier at Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, and by the way, he did a nutty thing in general in this match. I mean, this match was just insane, the second half of it. The first half was great, too. I mean, the first half, listen, I'm not knocking. The first half was a great match, and the second half just took it to the next level.
Right.
So, yeah, no, that ending there, I was like, no, not another ending. We just saw a garbage ending in the beginning of this. Let's not do another one.
Right.
And then he got on the mic and made it a whole lot better. And it took it from like I don't remember what the star rating was. Don't get me wrong. They took it from like a 3-star match to my opinion, like a 6-7 star match. I thought they did great. And I thought it was great to see Seth Rollins lose.
How many Messiah. Stars, bro?
Listen, I give him the stars. Dude, did you see how many stars that the Undertaker match got?
He's not Kenny Omega.
Did you see how many stars? Do you see how many stars the Undertaker match got?
No. 12?
If I counted correctly, it was like 10.5.
It should. That was such a good match.
I love that match. I'm not saying that.
Get there.
I'm just saying.
Don't you move ahead of me, man.
I'm just saying the stars. All right. So, but this was a great match. Anything else to add this one there?
Yeah. So the spot that actually happened. So it was the giant Wrestlemania sign that everybody was pointing at. Somehow they pushed that thing into the Performance Center, and they smashed it up against the wall so that people can still be near it. But this time, Kevin Owens climbed it.
Yep.
And then he came down with the people's elbow. He dropped that elbow right on him. And then grunting ensued.
That's what happens because that was painful.
So then they finally got the pin on Seth, getting his WrestleMania moment, which was super awesome.
I'm assuming, I read the article, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm assuming he was going to climb that in the middle of the ring and jump from like 80 feet high. That would have been nuts.
Not a good idea, guy.
So what I thought was a solid match, by the way, Jeff, This one got 0 stars. I just want to point that out. Sorry, Peppa. 0 stars, I said. I thought it was a good match. And you know I'm a Goldberg fan. We know Peppa isn't. It was the Goldberg-Strowman match.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this one?
I was very happy with this match.
I know you didn't want to see it win, but how did you feel about it? Like,
you knew what it was going to be. You got a match that was thrown together quick because they probably already had this whole Roman thing planned out, which probably was going to be just as quick. It was just going to be they were both going to spear each other 6 times, right? It was just going to be spear, 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 spear,
Superman
spear,
punch. No,
spear,
it was spear,
Superman punch, spear, and then that was how he win because Goldberg does not have a Superman punch, so that's how he would lose. But this one made sense. At first, you saw like the normal Goldberg match. There's a couple spears. The person looks
6
confused
spears before he put him down,
and he's all like, "Oh no, Braun is weak. He's been speared by the old guy." As if no one has scouted by this point in his career that this guy's just going to come out and try to spear you because he has no other moves.
And then jackhammer you, but I don't think he lift him up.
Yeah, he wasn't going to jackhammer Braun Strowman. He beat the Fiend on a suplex. So you know he wasn't going to win this one. So then it was just basically a bunch of power slams by Braun. Boring, but at the same time, it did what it did, and I'm just excited because I like that. Like, we're gonna have a different champion, even though I kind of think he's a transitional champion. I think they're still going to give it to Roman in the next 2 months.
They're gonna make him a transitional champion. That's the problem I have here. I like Braun. I think he deserved to have beaten Seth Rollins when he had the title. I think that would have been a way better time to give him the match. I think they're going to give this as a squash until maybe the fans come back in another 3 months. Whenever
Well, they did do whatchamacallit though. They did. You saw the promos during tonight that they're promoting that May 10th, no location.
I saw Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. So they're still going to go on with
so they said that they haven't taped anything past tomorrow night, or Monday night, and they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get back in. But then I heard they went. A whole bunch of stuff had happened since then.
Somehow
we'll see what happens.
But yeah, so Strowman wins the title. A long time coming. It's crazy for a dude that big, who in the beginning he was like one of the hottest things since sliced bread when he came in.
Yeah, but
for them not to give him the title until now, it's kind of stupid.
But didn't we talk about this? Didn't the reason they didn't give him the title is because he just didn't. He had a lack of showing up. He did whatever he wanted to do.
Behind the scenes, he
professional,
was great. Yeah,
professionally, right?
Yeah, that was an issue, but you had to give it to somebody, so I guess Strowman was their move.
And I think Big E would have been a great champion. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I would love that.
I would have loved to see Big E in the title instead. Although I will say that Tugboat didn't want to see Big E either, so Tugboat can shove it.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Although he did a pretty solid first night when we were talking. So here comes the best match that I've seen in forever. Probably one of the best
match of WrestleMania this year, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
The second, my second favorite match
there was no stutter. There was no stutter.
The non-ring match. Okay, both of my favorites are the non-ring matches this year. The ones where they got to
we'll talk about that one.
Video. So,
I don't know if it was. So I can't say that was my second favorite. I can't say that was my second favorite, but that was still solid. That's still solid. The storytelling was great in that one, and I loved everything about that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. This is the Boneyard match. This is basically a buried alive match. Is what it was.
Because everybody was very confused because.
I expect to see bones everywhere.
No one understood what
like in that WWE game back in the day.
Because usually they say stupid things when they do things like this with the Boneyard. It usually is like it was going to be corny, like a Halloween match. It's just people hitting each other with pumpkins. So I didn't know what to expect, but like a lot of people said, you can't if it's AJ Styles and Undertaker. These are two veterans who are the best of the best. Like one's the wrestler of the decade, the other one's the Undertaker. He's iconic. And I thought this was the only chance, if they did it the way which they did wind up doing it, was the only chance to not make Undertaker look old. Like, in a ring, he just looks old.
Yeah, but they were able to tape this, 3 days worth of stuff, probably, if not more.
But they produced this match to the point where he wasn't doing off-the-rope stuff. You didn't see him look slow. He looked like some guy who literally was beating the crap out of somebody because they talked about his wife. And I liked how everybody kept saying, we're going to get Undertaker of yesteryear. So I thought I was going to see the man with the purple gloves and all that.
Oh no, we got the American man.
We got the American. You can say badass, man. American badass.
Well, then it's not being put up there. So American badass is what it was. Yes, we got American badass Taker, and it was badass.
He even had Metallica, but it was a different Metallica song this time.
30 in. We're only 30 in, people. We still have another show to go. I told Pepper this last night we'd be fine.
We're on the last match.
Pepper wanted to hold it up. We still have another half to go.
It's going to be an hour. Watch this. So Boneyard match. Basically, it starts off where AJ tricks everybody because he comes out in the hearse, and we're like, God, Undertaker can come out with this crap again. And then he pops out with I got you.
It was hilarious, by the way.
That's good. And he was wearing jeans, so he knew this was not going to be a normal match. He decided not to put his gear on, which I liked. I liked it that, like, it wasn't like this weird thing where, like, because who wears the tights out in the middle of the forest if you're about to get in a fight? I'm not going to fight you in a cemetery.
It was definitely a better look.
On. Yeah. So, like, AJ just had his thing going. Like, he had his, and this match was it was good because it was a weird match, but not a match, but a match.
I liked when Gallows and Anderson came out and it had, like, the random people just circle them.
The Druids came out of nowhere, but the Druids fought Undertaker.
Yeah,
I thought that they would be with him. Yeah, I thought like we were gonna get like a hologram of Paul.
I like the tombstone on the. I like the tombstone on top of the
top
barn
of the shed. Yeah,
or shed or whatever it was.
Shedded him. He got the Carl Anderson, was it?
Yeah, it's Carl Anderson.
Yeah, he couldn't pick up Luke Gallows. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, it was what my only thing is, and I'm just surprised they didn't have AJ win. That's it.
A lot of people are saying that, like,
because Undertaker. I mean, listen, Undertaker's great, but Undertaker's already lost 2 matches at WrestleMania. One to Roman Reigns, which I think was the dumbest loss in the world. I will tell you that now
because I thought he retired.
I don't think Reigns deserves it. And the other one, which I get, I mean, I know he said, "Hey, beat me," and that was Brock Lesnar. I get that ending the streak, but you should have ended the streak with him retiring with that Brock Lesnar. Never had these rest of these matches again. This is definitely the best match we've seen in the last like 10 years since the Shawn Michaels match.
Of course.
But like, if you're gonna have him lose to anybody, I get Brock Lesnar. Like that one, I'm fine with as much. I'm not like excited that he lost that one because he went from 21-0 to 21-1. But the Roman Reigns was dumb. If you're gonna have him lose to anybody besides Brock, it's AJ Styles. Like the man is the wrestler of the decade, and you still can't have him lose.
It's the match. It's a buried alive match, basically. Okay, so it's a Boneyard match. It's Undertaker's match. It's like the match of matches. As far as like, as the Undertaker, it's that and a casket match. You don't want him losing one of those 2 matches. It's it's like if it's a certain guy's.
I will say, I'm pretty sure Stone Cold beat the Undertaker in a buried alive match though before.
He did, but not at this point in his career. He just doesn't lose these. So I don't think you hurt AJ. That's the thing. It's not like he's an upcoming guy. So like it's not like an upcoming star where like, oh no, he totally killed his push. AJ's another guy who looks like he's kind of like, okay, well, I don't really care. Like he's got his title run. He did a lot in WWE, and I think he's at a point where it's like.
Well, I wonder if he's taking a break because of this now.
That's
what I'm saying. He's taking a break.
They might have, but that's an easy way to write you off TV.
Right, he's dead.
You know,
he buried him alive. They showed his hand at the end and everything.
Yeah, his Wikipedia said he died. So.
Yeah,
it said he died yesterday. So he's dead. You saw him. He's in a coffin. He got buried. So yeah,
it wasn't even a coffin. It was just the ground.
Yeah, but that's how you bury people in Undertaker world. But I like the end with how Undertaker got on his bike. The house started lighting on fire, and then you had the Undertaker symbol hologram that popped. That like the laser show that shot on there.
That was dope.
And then he drove off to Metallica's. What is it? We're all dead. Now we're dead.
It was dope. It was a dope match.
So it was really good. He picked up his thing and like left, but like he seemed like it was like the best match he's put on in a while because he was able just to be a guy and like not his gimmick. He didn't have to be the dead man. He was just Mark Calloway and he's beating the hell out of Alan, whatever his name is, Alan Smith.
I don't know.
He has a boring name. AJ Styles has a boring name. So yeah, Undertaker wins that. He rolls out on his motorcycle. If they're smart, maybe that can be his last match.
I hope
he rode off into the night sunset.
Into the night of the dead, and just let it be his last match, and don't let him come back. I love you, Undertaker, but just please,
unless he only does Boneyard matches for now on. You're frozen. There you
and wins every single one. He can never lose. I'm good. He can never lose, and I'll be happy.
There you go.
Yeah,
because this way you can kind of keep him for good. All right, so that was night 1. Close scene. Open scene. We are on to night
Night
2
2. We
of
skip again the
WrestleMania.
pre-match.
Yeah,
and we
which
jump to the
was
first match, which is women
what this
again.
says is apparently it was Liv Morgan and Natalia.
That was the pre-match. The other one was
Shocker. Cesaro and Gulak.
yeah, Cesaro and Gulak
Okay.
lost that one.
Wait, no, that was the first night pre-match.
That was first night. Yeah, that was the first night,
All
and
right,
then this was it. So the first
Charlotte
match was
Flair,
Charlotte
Charlotte
versus Rhea Ripley.
I dug Rhea Ripley's new gear because she usually wears all black. Apparently, it was I don't know Dragon Ball Z or one of them, but apparently it was a hype off of some guy named Vagaga or something like that. Vegetato.
Vegeta.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
what I saw online a lot. Weirdly, I guess that's where I'm not in the same with the wrestling community, but the internet wrestling community.
I love anime and I love Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball, GT was it. But Peppa doesn't. I play Dokkan, so if you guys are on Dokkan, hit me up or Legends. We can always do some PvP matches. I'm ignoring Peppa for the PvP matches and Legends. If you want, let me know in the comments below. Now back to WrestleMania Part 2, which is Charlotte and Rhea Ripley.
Cool. Back to wrestling. This was a good match. I liked this match until the end.
Again, here's an ending I don't get. So, all right, Charlotte's going back to NXT full time? So the only reason this makes sense.
Well, they have to because it's a main brand. They can do that.
But Rhea Ripley just became the champion. Just beat the woman who just lost to Becky the night before. Who was supposed to, I don't know if Shayna's going to stay on the main roster or what's going to happen now. So is
Rhea going to try to go for Charlotte? Is Rhea going to go after Becky?
It's going to have to Becky and Shayna's going to come down and then they both win.
And then
but the other person could be the other person. Makes no sense.
It was very goofy. I didn't think for a minute there that when Charlotte got the figure 8, I was like, oh, okay, well, I wonder how Rhea's going to get out of this.
I thought she was going to flip her. Honestly.
And then when I saw her tap, I was like, this is stupid. Thanks, man. Again, Charlotte needs to win everything. She's Mrs.
And that's
Roman
the problem
Reigns,
here, I think the problem is that she has to win. And I'm not saying this is maybe a Triple H decision here. I'm not saying that was it.
It could be. You're not always right.
But I'm saying it is. I can't fully say because it is his show. So I was hope he had some say in it because he's bringing her in. We already had Balor, come in and not go for a title yet. But then you give this one to Charlotte. So again, a little confused. Great match though. I thought it was a great match. I thought they put on a very solid show.
And it was the second longest match of the night. So I have all the times up here with everything. So it was a 20-minute match. So
yeah, it was a long match.
They took the first 20 minutes of WrestleMania Part 2.
It was great.
And they went 1-on-1. It was very good. There was no interferences or something goofy. It was two women who were very they're both kind of just same in as far as athletic goes. They're both athletic and they took each other to the limit. But at the end, sadly, Charlotte has to get another title. I'm wearing her father's shirt. This isn't her shirt.
Yeah, we can see
Ric Flair.
We can see it.
Yeah, it's Rick. Don't think for a second it's Charlotte.
Ric Flair?
Ric Flair. Richard Flair is his real name. Creepy. So after that match, we had a very quick match. It was a 7-minute match between Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. I'm guessing they're planting seeds that Lana is probably going to get rid of. They're going to get rid of each other.
Well, yeah, because Lana has to go back to taping her show or something. They said.
I guess, but maybe they're going to break them up.
They're breaking them up.
Lashley was about to give him that whatever he calls his finisher, and then she goes, "No, spear him." And then I was like, "He ain't going to spear. He's about to get Black Mass to hell."
And he did. He got Black Mass to hell.
Yeah, Black Mass, and so Aleister keeps winning. I don't understand the reason for it. Again, this could have made WrestleMania shorter if you just took it out. I get you want WrestleMania to be the show of shows and a lot of matches, but some of these matches didn't make any sense. So that match could have been taken out.
I get it could have been taken out along with the other match from the night before, but it was a better match, I thought, than the Elias match.
Yeah.
And at least people
you took those two out,
people are more invested in Aleister Black.
I like Aleister Black. I will never complain about Aleister Black being on any show. But, I thought the match is kind of me. No, I'm glad he got a win, and it was at WrestleMania, so awesome for him.
Because I think the build up to be Undertaker, so he's got to get that first win, and he goes on
that. Next year, Boneyard match between Aleister Black and Undertaker. I'm in. Next up, kind of another quick match. We didn't get to talk about SmackDown as much, and I wanted to talk to you kind of about that. So this is the main pop from SmackDown, the Otis and Dolph Ziggler match.
I love this match.
I
This is a
wonder
fantastic match.
who.
This is a
We're still
fantastic
trying to
story.
figure out if it definitely is Ali. I'm assuming it has to be Ali, right? Like that's letting
I
the truth
yeah, I
be
mean,
heard.
we talked about this originally before they revealed a figure on Friday night. Is that you thought it was Killer Cross,
Yeah, because everybody kept saying, "Oh yeah, it has to be Killer Cross," but then like this
and I've
guy
been saying
doesn't seem to.
Ali.
Yeah,
I've
and
been
there's no
saying Ali.
tattoo, so it's not CM Punk.
And the other one was
Uh,
I heard someone say Ricochet the other day.
Ricochet's too goofy.
And who's
No,
the other one? Who's it? You sent me a thing. Who's the other person in that thing you sent me?
oh I don't remember. But like it
Oh,
has to be what's his name because it's the dots. Now they're like showing the.
I'm saying. I showed you. It was his dots. They showed
Yeah,
his
but like
dots.
that's all they're showing now. Like that is a dot. So it has to
Oh,
be
Ember
my.
Moon. I think Ember Moon was the other one.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Ember Moon. I think it's gonna be Ali, but which would be a cool character for him because they never gave him a character. They kind of made him Ali guy with the Iron Man stuff,
Well, they were bringing back his Mustafa. I thought was the whole point.
and now he is back to being Mustafa. But like, so they reveal basically it's like GTV all over again, where there's a hidden camera who's showing the truths of the what they're doing backstage. So we found out that
And Dolph
Sonya
Ziggler
was
behind it
sabotaging
all.
the whole thing
Yep.
when that was supposed to be Mandy's best friend, and it said Sonya sabotage to help Dolph. So she came out with Dolph tonight. She was in his corner.
In this corner, yeah, it was very
So
interesting.
the Sonya being a heel thing, that'd be cool. Give her a little bit of a run.
The Mandy Rose,
Being,
which was even better.
yeah.
Start
So
off.
then Otis, he just comes out on fire. Oh yeah, oh yeah. He says that a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Tucky.
yeah.
So Otis was out there. It was a really good match. It was quick, but like it did what they had to do.
How long was this?
And then 8 minutes. A lot of the men. It's literally one.
I mean, I
Match
thought
that took a lot of time.
for an 8 minute match. I mean, I thought it was
They got a
well,
lot into it. Yeah.
and they got a lot into it. I mean, that was the thing. Like, and this, I've been following the storyline since day one. I've loved every second of the storyline
Mm-hmm.
because I was obsessed with Mandy for months before they started the storyline.
Right.
Before they started the storyline, and that's what I love about it. When you're invested, like me and Pep are, you follow storylines from beginning.
It was good long-term storytelling.
And they finally completed it through and didn't screw it up. And I loved every second of it. The best part
and finally at the end, my man gets his smooch.
The best part about this though was at the end. So we said it was great Mandy Rose didn't come out because the way they had her come out and just jump on Sonya, just beat the hell out of Sonya, who by the way was a fighter, so that was great. Then comes in because the ref was back turned and boom, right below to Dolphy Boy.
Right, to his little guys.
Otis does the worm. It was great. But then the best part about this whole thing was JBL saying disgusting because about what was happening after that.
He kept saying he's going to call PETA.
This is disgusting. So Mandy Rose raises his hand. Then you had that look at each other like, oh man, it's going to happen. And he picks her up and holds her in her arms. And me watching this on my couch with my iPad next to me, I'm going crazy, loving every second of this. And then he kisses her, and I loved it. I went back to show my wife who doesn't watch wrestling. Hilarious. I'm like, I'm dying. This is great. And like, you don't get the long time storytelling. Like, you don't appreciate as much, but it was amazing. And Otis got
that was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that match. So it was they really because I was confused on why they gave it away on SmackDown. Like at first where they were like gave away who was.
But we knew
behind everything. But like I thought that was actually really good at when you watch how the end came this time because like it actually put a little extra investment in this match instead of it just being where originally it was just as Dolph and Otis with Mandy in Dolph's corner, and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like I get it, but I don't get it. Like I thought like somehow she'd screw Dolph over, realizing that she likes Otis instead. But this was way better with them doing the JTV thing the night before.
It was way better, and again, I want to congratulate Triple H on taking control of this because he's the one who's keeping everything up into Raw. So I think not only has he done a lot with it, but like the whole it's been handled really, really well. I thought all the way around.
Of course.
Yeah, this was another one. It was handled really, really well.
Yep. And then the longest match of the night.
But before we get to that, my fear about this match that we saw was that if there are fans there, this is one I think the fans I don't think would have been behind as much.
I don't know, man. People love Otis.
But I just think that they would have been behind until Mandy came out. I think they would have not been as behind it. I think we would have gotten some negative ones on this.
But I agree.
Now to this match, that was a fantastic match.
Longest match of the night by far. It was 36 minutes. This one was.
Charlotte and Rhea were the longest.
I said their second longest. 20 minutes was them, but the Randy
36?
Orton and Edge match was 36 minutes.
I want to say something before we get this. I want to say that this was probably taped at least 6-7 different times. I'm not saying retaped. It's just that when the camera disappeared, everyone
and they keep running back to catch the different views.
Break to breathe, and then they pretend like the cameraman's trying to run to find it. I really think that's what happened. Because if you look at different moments, like that one, the running, and then the running again, and the best was Randy Orton like, get out of my way. But then on the top of the semi,
truck,
right? The truck. The ref was down there watching as Edge climbed up, and you had Orton on the ground, and then we come up, and apparently the ref was up there with Edge the whole time. Like, where did this come from? And my other problem with this match is the ref could have counted 10 multiple times on Edge and just goes, okay.
He like held him right, like when he was like he was stumbling up, and they like gave him the benefit of the doubt, like, all right, he's up enough, but
yeah,
he wasn't really up. But this was a good match too. It was really good storytelling because you could tell it was just like two guys who truly just hated each other, and it was built like you could see people were just trying.
It was like brotherly
come
hate
close to
as much.
Yeah,
I think more.
I think that's how if it was like if you and your brother really need to get something out, I think the fight would be very similar. Like you would probably concerto with him and then cry.
That's why you cry after doing it, and then hold his head down and like give him a kiss on his forehead.
Right, like, I'm sorry, bro, but like we had to do that, and like you'll both understand it afterwards. Like, all right, yeah, we both kind of need to beat the hell out of each other for this to be a thing. But it was a very good match. I'm glad Edge got his victory. I don't know where he goes from here. Like, was that it for him?
That's it for him. It needs to be it for him. I'm sorry, listen, I love the match, but there are parts that you could tell, like, I don't think Edge should be doing this much longer, if at all.
Well, you never really seen him in a match yet.
No, but we've seen this
in a technical match.
And well, I don't know if they were just playing it off that way, but I thought some of the stuff was, and I'm not saying it's Edge, but I thought it was poorly handled. I don't know if it's Edge with the camera angles of how it looked, but I don't know. There are certain parts of it that I wasn't like. I still thought it was a great match. I'm not saying that. There are parts where like Edge looked like he may have been rusty here or there, or
but I thought he pulled off some really cool things, like the first of all,
timing up the ladder.
I don't know why the corporate boardroom has a steel cage as their ceiling, but that was really cool, and I kind of want that now.
Why is this cage here? Okay, cool.
Steel cage ceiling, that's pretty cool to have.
Right? I want that too.
He pulled himself on that steel cage and dropped an elbow. That was pretty cool. He did the same thing with the when he was in the weight room. He pulled himself up the weight room, swung, and then he landed on him on the chair.
So again, I'm not saying it was the production, but that was my problem. He was just getting his ass kicked for like 8 minutes of this match. And then can't breathe, can't stay, pulls himself up to do that. That's what my problem was. Now, they're saying his legs, that's the whole point they were putting at it. So I get it, but like he had all this upper body strength to pull himself up of that, but could barely get himself up all this stuff. That's where my problem lies in this match. I think as that part of it. But then I love that. You can tell he's looking at a ladder because his face. They don't
he had like that very serious face, like he's looking at something.
He's like, like you could tell his idea was, ooh, I see a ladder. But they're just like, let's stare at his face some more instead of like, what's he looking at? And then wait longer. Like there were those parts as much. I'm not saying it wasn't as much as I think it was just certain things were done.
No, I get what you're saying though. But yeah, so this match was good. It was good storytelling match. It wasn't by no meaning where you're expecting this to be like this high flying crazy match. It's Orton and Edge. It's two older guys who just know how to tell a story.
Kill each other.
So they just told each other at over 36 minutes. Then we had a letdown match. Because there's no point in this match, honestly. This is another one that had no point.
What's his face? Andrade got sick or something?
Andrade has bad ribs. So they gave it to Austin Theory, which is cool for Austin Theory.
But I want to say Austin Theory looks just like Finn Balor. I just want to point that out as we get into it.
Yeah, he was finished.
I'm like,
he looks
why is
a little bit like Finn?
Just like Finn, but okay, whatever. But it wasn't a great match. I love the Street Profits.
And I guess you have to have your tag titles defended on WrestleMania. You can't just
do it on Raw anyway. I mean, they're killing these tag titles, unfortunately.
So,
I think if you're great tag champions, they're just killing them on Raw. And that's the problem we have.
So this was quick.
I like Bianca Belair coming out. That was what was awesome.
I was thinking that when they were holding Montez Ford up and Zelina Vega kicked him in the face, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Ooh, where is Bianca? Her man just got booed in the face by another woman."
Right? That's what I was thinking too.
And as soon as you saw her come
Like
down, I was like, "That's my girl. All
they
right,
just brought
cool,
Bianca
cool, cool,
up
cool."
from NXT to this.
I mean,
Interesting.
that'd be cool because now you're gonna have
Now we
like
have
they're gonna
Shayna.
keep this
We have
storyline going,
Bianca.
but with like Vega and like I guarantee you see a 6-man tag coming up.
Oh, I agree. My
It's
thing
gonna
is,
be
you had
them,
you had
the
because
was the
Bianca
sexy
was
man? What's his
fighting
name?
Rhea Ripley at the time for the title when Charlotte interfered, and all of a sudden they're
Yeah.
taking, all right, boop, we're plopping her out in front of.
Oh, I got it. So Charlotte's going to fight Bianca Belair, and Belair is going to beat her for the NXT title now. That's
So
going to
they're
be her
gonna,
next
so they're gonna
fraud.
throw her into Raw to then bring her down to NXT.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
whatever it is, but it's gonna. That's. I think it's going to be Bianca Belair because they like looked her over just to get to this. So I
I,
think Bianca Belair is now going to be a part of that scene. But
Again, the ending
otherwise,
to this one was.
okay, it was a win.
So here we comes to my favorite, not favorite match.
This is where I was starting to look at the clock, and me and you were both saying, how are they going to fit 3 matches in by 10?
Yeah.
And then after this 20-minute match, the Bailey, Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, Tamina, fatal 5-way. I don't know why you
So
needed to put 5 people in this match.
because it was supposed to be 6, but I guess someone had to back out because of this thing.
Yeah, it's probably Natty. Oh no,
But
Natty
my
fought.
she fought already.
Yeah, I forgot.
My problem with this match was the ending should have been either one of two. The way they ended it, and then they could have finished with Sasha turning on Bailey.
Yeah.
At the end, because she's like, "Oh, it was all me," and then have her turn,
Right.
or you end it with Sasha versus Bailey and Sasha winning the title.
Oh my God, that's exactly. I literally tried to play the match out, and I was saying it. I was saying it to Ashley beside me. I was literally saying like, I said, all right, this is how this match is gonna play out. I was like, first of all, Tamina's gonna get in like some big like quick
And they're
moves
gonna
because she's
so
big. She's gonna be out first. Then it's gonna be Naomi. Then because they have a feud with Lacey Evans.
they're gonna
Then
join forces to
right.
fight.
So I
Yep.
said, then they're gonna get Lacey Evans out, and then they're gonna look at each other and realize they have to fight each other. And Bailey's gonna think that Sasha's gonna lay down for her so she can win. Sasha's gonna kick her or something. Boom! Now we have that Bailey Sasha match everybody keeps
That we've
wanting.
been waiting
And
for
instead, it was the woman's right knocks out Sasha.
after the push out
Lacey
the
gets
way.
the right. Lacey gets that win, and then it was 1-on-1 between Lacey and Becky, or what's her
Bailey.
name? Not Becky,
Bailey.
Bailey, the other B word. Um, so then Bailey looks like she's not doing too hot against her, and for some reason, uh, Sasha comes back out, hits her with a backstabber, uh, only for Bailey to give. I don't know. They did not give her a new name
They
to
did.
her
They
new
said that.
finisher.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was weird.
Yeah,
And
and just
I
they
don't
called it the
think
face down or something like, oh, got her with face down.
the facial.
And so,
It hit hard, is what it did.
yes, it did.
Yeah,
And
that was for you.
good job. And so that ended that, and then Sasha kind of like was just ominous after that, like because
Mhm.
when like you said, when Bailey was up there saying like nobody can touch me, nobody can touch me, blah 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 blah.
I wanted to come
You
down
saw,
and backstab her
but you saw Sasha
in the
she
background.
was standing on like the ramp, like looking at her, like contemplating, like okay,
How
I'm
to
gonna have to
turn.
take that belt
The
now,
only way
right?
they handle this is they have them go for titles, and then that's when Sasha turns on her. But I thought the WrestleMania turn would have been better. Or
Right,
the other option that could have played out was is that if they talked about it and said, all right, once we get down to each other, we fight our hardest to see who is the better of the two, and whoever wins the title, and we still back each other. They could have also played it that way.
right,
Instead of like, hey, we're best friends, and play it out this way as well. Because like it'd be like me and you, hey, listen, I'm the champion.
yeah,
Now, if it comes down to me and you, we're gonna fight hard. Whoever wins, wins. I'm still gonna back you if I lose,
right,
and you got each other's backs because we're still fam at the end of the day. Like
exactly.
that sort of storyline because they never really done that in WWE. They've done the backstabbing multiple times. So
Yeah,
if
so I
you do
guess it was
that,
a
I
cool
feel
way
like
to
you
do it.
change it up. So now we have 2 matches left, Mr. Fingernails himself, and we have
Hey,
less than 6 minutes to do this, and so let's see if Peppa can do it.
oh, we got
So,
this.
had the
So
second
this was
favorite match of the
13
night.
minutes. Yes.
Had the second favorite
So
match of the night, but it
you know
wasn't
what it
really a
was?
match.
I thoroughly enjoyed like how they told like 6 years worth of story in one.
I love
Um,
that part.
they bounced from scene to scene.
But it wasn't 6 years. It was Cena's entire career.
Yeah.
And Bray Wyatt 6 years.
Because at first I was very confused. I saw John Cena come out to the ring, like they played his thing, came out, and I was like, wait. I thought this was a funhouse match. Like, why is he even in a ring? Like,
and then he did welcome to Wrestle. I was like, ooh.
And especially after the night before, I'm expecting something. Like, I'm expecting a produced match that has nothing to do with the ring.
That's what I was expecting. That's the only downside to this. That's the only part I didn't get that I was hoping for, was the production part of it.
You thought there was going to be a match?
I thought it was going to be a production type match at the end of it. No. Like, do this lead up part, which is great, by the way. I love the lead up part. Just the ending, I was kind of like, why didn't he at least get the hammer and then he beats him? Like, he puts him in the ST or the FU, whatever it's called now. I can't remember what it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
Attitude adjustment, brother.
Thank you. Attitude adjustment. I feel like it's the FU. That's why I couldn't remember.
It used to be, yeah.
So I wish you would have put him in that as a like FU type of deal. Get it? Boom, got you there, Peppa. But I like the production part of it. I thought the storytelling was great, and it was. I'm not saying that this was planned out this way, but if this is what they planned the entire time from 6 years ago, I thought it was fantastically done.
That's amazing storytelling. They figured this out 6 years.
Well, apparently Bray's been doing this from the very beginning with this whole Firefly. He's been hitting this for over 6 years.
Yeah, that this has been his thing, and I liked. You could tell. I think this is how you could tell this was a Triple H led thing on this one, was because you saw the Vince puppet was pretty much everything the fans have ever said about Vince, including the "this is good S." It was like where that was the thing that Moxley said. That wasn't even a WWE thing. That was something that was told about Vince after Moxley left the company, saying that Vince always said, "Oh, this is just good." And to see it on the show where they have him at commentary with was it Husky Harris, or was it the Husky one?
Macho
Harris or whatever. Like they had him as like the Macho Man, but like with that. And when it was, what were they calling it? Wolfpack Wyatt against Hulk Cena or something like that, and whatever it was. And
no, it was Hulk. He was Hulk Cena. He was Hulk Wyatt. He was Hulk Wyatt against Lumberjack John or something like that. He called him.
No, that was the one where they were doing that. Like they were the tag team where remember he was doing this thing. And he was still up, but like they went through some cool stuff. Like they ripped on Bischoff basically, because remember that everybody's complaining that Bischoff's not going into the Hall of Fame with the rest of them, but they had him only play Eric Bischoff and Eric Bischoff parts. They ripped on McMahon. They got all like the things in there that like the fans literally always talk about. So I thought that was kind of cool how like they played into what the fans have said, but at the same time like told you like obvious stuff about both of their careers, like that John started with this, ruthless aggression, goofy stuff with that, and like I liked it. Somehow they found all the gear, like Cena's original gear from when he did come out with the whole ruthless aggression thing
around somewhere in a warehouse.
Then like all the different T-shirts that Cena had for those matches were all there. Bray was back in the rocking chair for part of it.
Oh, that part of it was fantastic too.
And he started sounding like old Bray, the one that like the reason they have Rambling Rabbit, because he was sounding like that one who just has a lot of words, but the words don't really mean anything.
Yep, rambling.
And it was really like I thoroughly enjoyed how they put him back. Like they were everything from WCW to Monday Night Raw, Saturday night tapings, like all this stuff, and they pushed him through all this stuff only for at the end when like Cena kind of like was realizing at the end they basically were comparing him to Hulk Hogan. If you like the whole time, basically saying like you were Hulk Hogan.
They played Hulk in that part.
Yeah, but there's so much of it where it's like Hogan. You think you're Hogan?
They're definitely stabbing Hogan because it was all about Hogan. He never turned.
They even came at him with Nikki Bella, because remember when he swung at him and he did the "you can look but you can't touch."
Yeah.
So he did a little bit like so they stabbed at everything that both of them were bad at.
So my thing is that I was surprised Cena went along with it because of how much of a D-bag everyone was saying he was about it.
Well, he is, but I think now he's at a point where it's like.
But I don't know if it was as much as that as I love the part when they're in the ring and they brought back the Thugonomics part, right? And he was rapping. He goes, all you know how to do is hurt people with your lines, but you don't really think about it because he was always thinking about himself and being number one. and to be number one, you come up with. I mean, in a battle, you're always trying to outsmart everybody.
Yeah.
And people don't understand in rap battle, it may not necessarily always be personal, but he always got to come at somebody to make it personal. And
Right.
he made that point and goes, I was supposed to basically said I was supposed to win that match against you, and you turned around and said, no, that ain't happening.
Right.
And like you could change that now, and then he didn't, and it was kind of like I loved every second of how they played that part out. I really did.
It's kind of like they showed it as much as they showed Cena the ways he wronged so many people, and then he knew like, okay, I can't go and bury you again. I'm gonna like do the right thing.
Saying that
let the future run.
He was a trash person. He shouldn't be a part of the future. He's
Right.
basically letting him be a part of the future, which I liked because he was able to take that hit on his ego and by like, man, maybe I made some mistakes in my time and I need to own up to him. Because we talk about Ryback on here a couple times, and he can't stand Cena because he turned him over when he was supposed to win the Royal Rumble.
Ryback was on fire at that point, right? And then
I'm not taking the drop because of this fool. Like, no, because he wanted to win, and that was the downside to it. Over 6. I just want to put that out.
That's right. We one match away, and that match was literally 4 minutes.
And talking to you about it and going through it all, I get how it ended and it should have ended. I still see somewhat of a match, but it was still talking. It was still phenomenally finished and done.
And from the stuff I was seeing, that was the only great people were saying, like, because there's like the purists who are like, well, this is called Wrestlemania. What is this? This is the second night in a row I've had to deal with a non-wrestling match. Like you had a fight in a cemetery, and then you had this.
Cemetery matches
aren't real matches, right?
Cemetery match makes sense. Those people can suck an egg, and I don't care if you're watching.
People are just cranky. That's what they are. People are cranky, and they want to complain even when something's actually good. So that's them. But I thought this was very well put together. It was art. It was what it was. It was art.
That was the best part.
And those two put together gold.
And disappear.
Right. And you were great watching 13 minutes of that, and you didn't realize you watched 13 minutes of that. Now, at one point where you're going, man, is this going to be over soon? You were so in it, and that's the whole point of what this is. It's sports entertainment. WWE's not told, and they told you pretty loud and clear, they're not wrestling. Okay, they're entertainment. That is what they are. So they did something and it entertained us. Period. Then we came back to this is the only reason I think the Cena Bray thing should have ended it. Because this was very like, because it was 4 minutes and 35 seconds, which me and you were both like, it was either going to be the first ever 40-minute Brock Lesnar match, or it was going to be 3 minutes long. And it came out and they literally just did exactly what they thought. I'm going to do 6 finishers. You're going to do 6 finishers. One of us is not going to handle the last finisher. That's all it was.
I texted you last part. I said, "What is this? Is McIntyre the next Fiend kicking out at 1?"
Yeah, like he was kicking, and then what's his name kicked out at 1, and then they both started kicking out 2. You're like, their finishers are starting to work.
My thing is that so here's my problem. Like I get Brock kicking out the first time. I even get McIntyre kicking out all 3 times. Excuse me. If you're gonna make Brock as dominant as he was, you hit 3 claymores on him, even 2, and he kicks out on 2.
Right.
Claymore. Then he hits 1 or 2 more, and then you finish. You didn't have Brock kick out of a single friggin' 1, and McIntyre kicks out of 3.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was a weird little story, and it wasn't like I think this match got hurt by by not being live. I think honestly, but it was what it was. The right winner was crowned. Now it's going to be kind of fun that the both shows are now going to be led by completely different champions who have not been champion before. So to see Drew run Raw, and now you're going to see Braun running SmackDown. I think it's going to be cool and different to see if they move in the right direction with both these guys. But overall, I think, like you said, this was one of the WrestleManias that actually has been good. It was actually really good WrestleMania.
I don't know if it's good because it was over 2 nights. I mean, obviously, there's well-produced stuff and all that kind of stuff.
I think it was good because it was 2 nights, because last year was absurd.
3.5. Yeah, I don't want to watch that long matches. Like
it was 5 to 1 a.m. Remember, wasn't that what it was? I'm like it's because by the time you got that last match, you're sitting there like, oh my god.
And the crowd was even out of it, and that's what makes it work.
It sucked because that was supposed to be like the best match of the night, and everybody's waiting for that match.
Let me just put it out there. But if I'm Vince and I'm all about the money, why would I make it over 2 nights anyway?
You can get 2. You can fill that stadium 2 times.
You can stand.
Right, and like a VIP pack that's a double nighter. Like Yeah, you can kill it.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm not talking about the match. I'm saying about in general. It made it more entertaining. It made me want to watch it more. It made me enjoy WrestleMania way more than I have in years because it was like 6 to 8 matches the first night, 6 to 8 matches the second night, and it's what a regular pay-per-view should be.
9 matches. Night 2 had 9 matches,
Okay.
including the pre-match.
Yeah.
And 9 matches. It was 9 matches both times. It was 9 and 9, just separated differently. So it was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this. What about yourself, brother?
No, man, I said I enjoyed it. It was a great WrestleMania, and I hope to do this next year in Hollywood. 2 nights.
Oh, I mean, it is Hollywood, so you could produce some really cool things.
Yeah, produce some cool stuff. Like, just like, listen, I'm not saying every match has to be in the ring, but like, you can still have a boneyard type match instead of the fans watching it going
Right.
crazy, or you do a street match in the streets. Like, you can still have
But that's
stuff where
pre-produced. Just learn that you found something that works. So
even if you
just do
end it, even if you end the pay per view the way you did with Goldberg and Braun, and then like put this match on afterwards as an extra part of it, I would be fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
or like I said, you put it on in the stadium, and the fans go crazy because they're watching it in the stadium, going, "Oh my god!" And we're hearing the fans react to it. Now, again, like I
Right.
said, I also enjoy the fact that we haven't had as many fans because, like you said, it doesn't bring that negative entity into existence with the matches.
Yeah, you guys actually have your own plan and your own thought process and stuff.
And we do. I mean, me and Pepper always have our own opinions and thoughts on everything.
Oh yeah, but it's nice to see more
here.
people actually like thought about it instead of just being like, "Well, you heard the boom out the stadium." So,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this was a good WrestleMania, man. It was cool. 2 nights. Overall, good job, guys. It was actually good, and we actually enjoyed it. Well, I guess we have to see what happens on Raw tomorrow night.
I know, and I don't know. We come back for Raw, Pep, or are we just gonna wait till Dynamite on Wednesday?
I don't know. We'll see how we feel.
We'll see. You may see us back on Monday night, which
Because
is
we don't know what your throat's doing.
or
You know,
tonight,
your throat's getting funky, so I don't know how your life is.
It's still hurting. I don't know what's gonna happen, but if not, we'll definitely see us back here for our review on Dynamite Wednesday night. So probably Thursday when you guys actually when we post it and get up there.
Yeah, because we're actually getting up quicker, so you guys gotta watch out.
Yeah,
We're
so
doing things now.
it's a great job to get stuff done this way. So
Yes, sir.
You know, we appreciate everyone tuning in to KBW. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, keep that distance.
Yeah,
like
keep distancing. Socially.
Social
distancing.
Always. For me, disrespectful. For the man Pep over to my left. We out of here, man.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.